I always felt a connection to Israel as a child, partly because of my grandmother. Her mother was born in Rhodes, where by the time she was an adult, there were no more Jews. She grew up in Alexandria, Egypt, where by the time she was an adult, there were virtually no more Jews. So my grandmother essentially buried two Jewish communities in her life. She had a strong sense of the precariousness of Jewish life. She had a brother, Isaac, who had moved from Egypt to Palestine. And sometimes in her whimsical moments, she would say, well, maybe we'll all join him there. That image of Israel as a refuge and as a place that could provide kind of sustenance to Jews who needed a place to root themselves was a powerful idea for me as a child. For me, the miracle of Jewish return to sovereignty is not simply the sovereignty itself, it's the values that Israel embodies. Acquiring sovereignty is not enough. There is another challenge, which is to invest that sovereignty with the best of Jewish ideals as envisioned by the Hebrew prophets. And that struggle, it seems to me, is very much with us today, because Israel controls a territory in which it has not extended those principles in its own declaration of independence. It has now been in control of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip for 2/3 of Israel's existence. And on the day that Israel can no longer find a way to give back that territory or extend rights in that territory, then Israel as a democracy itself will be deeply imperiled. It seems to me American Jews, given our history of struggling for democracy in our own society, given how closely we identify Americanism with democracy, should be involved in that struggle. We shouldn't be on the sidelines. We shouldn't be bystanders. Now, we are not Israelis, but we are people with a deep connection to Israel and whose own fate as Jews is bound up with the fate of Israel. So I think we have every right to have a conception of what Israel is. We don't do Israel any favors by standing by if the Israeli government is pursuing policies that are threatening to Israeli democracy and to the highest Jewish ideals. For younger American Jews who've grown up with Israel as a regional superpower, it's not enough to say we need Israel as a refuge, because they can't imagine needing Israel as a refuge. What they can imagine, I think, is being inspired and connected to an Israel that, under difficult circumstances, is living out the democratic ideals that they believe are the highest form of the Jewish ethical tradition. It seems to me that's the struggle that J Street is enlisting young American Jews in, and I think it really is the struggle of our age.